Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Varen and I am back today to finish going through my deck collection and decluttering. So tuck in and we will get right into that. Besides being a little clunky in the beginning of this, I'm feeling much better than yesterday, which is when I filmed part 1. Today I'm filming part 2. We started off yesterday, we started off in part 1 where, so recently I had gone through my deck collection, Tarot and Oracle. I have a lighter cut for the candle. We'll get there in a second. I'd gone through my deck collection, Tarot and Oracle, and I pulled out a bunch of decks that I was like, I'm not sure about these, and I put them into purgatory. And then yesterday, all of this stuff was hitting me. I'm in an 8 of Cups month, and how that 8 of Cups is manifesting is with me releasing and processing a lot of emotional shit, including literal decluttering of things, especially things that held a lot of sentimental value. I feel like I'm just clearing and releasing a lot. And so I wanted to apply that to my decks, to look at my decks and decide how many do I want to look at my decks and decide, do I really still need this? Is this bringing joy in my life having it? Is it bring comfort, security? Or is the energy of this deck not needed anymore? Our tally when we left off was 19 decks that were going, 9 decks that I'm keeping for one reason or another, and 4 decks that I need to look more closely at. Except I need to change that and add one back to the decks to think about and look more closely at and kind of talk through more. So we'll start there in a minute. Another thing I did in this video was I created this little candle for really just like, I'm really just trying to do things intentionally and on purpose. Purposeful is one of my words. Like my words of the year are grounded, present, and purposeful. And so I really want to do things on purpose. And so I made this candle filming the video. We're going to put that over there. I do have some tea, which is delicious. Okay, so last time we went through the purgatory decks. Now we're going through the rest of my decks. And we're just going to start with this one. This is just the update. So decks are either solidly staying, solidly going, or I have a little pile I'm building for decks that like I want to look at more closely and more deeply. Behind the scenes with my members, I'm going to be doing more intense decluttering with like items that are more emotional, because that is a space where it's more behind the scenes. So this deck, I realized this morning I want to revisit the idea of, so I'm going to add that to that pile. Okay, now we're ready to start off, and we're going to start off nice and easy. A lot of this is going to be very quick, I think, because I don't think I'm going to actually be getting rid of much in this category. We'll see. We're starting nice and easy with my Songs of the Grandmothers Oracle. You could not get this from me. You would have to pry it out of my cold dead hands. I adore this deck. I use it all the time. I use it for my moon return. Here's my current moon return card. It literally sits on my desk pegboard. I adore this deck. I adore everything about this deck. I love it very much. And I am 100 million % keeping the Songs of the Grandmothers. Each one has a grandmother, a keyword, and a little haiku. I use this with clients. I use this in my channel membership monthly for the readings. I use this all the time. I adore this Songs of the Grandmothers deck, and the only reason it's like tucked off to the side is because like for my filming setup I have to move it to attach my tripod. So there it is. So that is a definite keep. By the same creator, different artist, I have the Prairie Majesty Oracle. This was my deck that I used for my Sovereign cards last year. I really like this deck. The guidebook's really good too. I really like Kara, I don't know if it's pronounced like Kara or Kara. Kara. So I think Kara, but I adore this. I adore their work. I like that this is very earthy. I also do really like the questions. I haven't really found the way to use this deck. I was pulling this as part of my weeklies last year because, like, this says right here, explore your sovereign nature. And like this called me out a lot. I'm just not quite sure how I'll use it moving forward. I don't think I want to get rid of it right now. I'm not sure if it's a deck I'm destined to keep for the long term. But that's there. So there's that one. My Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. This thing is phenomenal. I use this all the time. Still, nothing has changed. I do not use this as a divining tool. I use these as place cards to build a spread when working with my clients. One of my favorite things to do, I'm a professional tarot reader and astrologer. You can check out my website down below. Please keep in mind things are going to be changing. There's going to be changes to my website. My favorite thing to do, and I talked about it in my Let's Talk About Your Head Spread videos, which I can link up above in the cards. One of my favorite things to do is I specialize in using astrology with these cards to build a spread, to build a customized spread and container based on whatever astrology is going on in the person's life, and then using tarot to explore that and find out what's going on. So for example, I pull your head spreads, and it's the next one I'm going to pull. It's going to be Pisces season. So I would put out the Pisces card. I look at the Pisces part of my chart. There's the Pisces card. Then I look at my chart when I'm pulling mine. I look at my chart, look at the Pisces section, and based on what's going on transit wise, I pull that. And so that's a reading that's based on the sun traveling through the season, the signs, which is a roughly monthly thing. But so I use that all the time. It's going absolutely nowhere. This is one of the most secure decks in my collection. I also have this. This is my Wisdom of the Shadow and Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. These are also very solidly safe. There are the backs. They're gorgeous. I use these with my weekly. I pull a shadow card for the week and a Divine Feminine card. I look at it as a light card. My current shadow card is Vulnerability, and my current light balancing point card is Ease. And this has been profound. I'm actually planning to hopefully journal about that. But sorry, I'm just dropping cards. I'm just trying to fix it now. Oh my gosh. But these, I adore these cards. Ooh, they're really beautiful. I also like pairing this with I also have like a tarot deck that I like to pair with both of these if I want to dive more deeply into shadow and light. I actually wonder if I want to kind of build its own reading with it. I'm not sure, because I really like using this with the Tarot of the She and this with the Shimmering Veil. I'm going to put this aside and quickly just grab my journal and jot down the ideas so I can think about it and talk about it and explore it later. Especially because, like, I am in a temperance year. And also, balance is such an integral thing in my, like, in my worldview, in my life, in my current practice. Idea. Full shadow and light. Reading with Divine Shadow. And Tarot of the She and Divine Feminine and Shimmering Veil. Alright, cool. That's out of the way. Alright, that's that. Next, I have... So I'm going to explore it. This is my adorable... This is my... I can't remember what this is called. If you remember what this is called, let me know. But this is my... this is the Ganeshian Village. This is my Ganeshian Village tarot. It's extremely Rider-Waite Smith, except it's adorable elephants. I love this thing so much. I do not use it, but it brings me so much joy. I would like to use it, but I literally haven't. But I don't care. It's mine and it makes me happy, and that's really all it needs to be for me for right now. So I have that one. That's staying. My Dream Vision Tarot. I adore this deck. I had the first edition. And then I showed it to my sibling-in-law. Look at the backs. I did like the backs of the other one. Look at this deep blue, though. And I also just really like the size change and the way the font has changed. So I had the first edition. And I adored it. And I used it for a bit, and then it kind of like fell off. And then I showed it to my sibling-in-law, and they fell in love with it, so I gave it to them. And then I missed it. And so I've got it back. And I love the sun-moon balance that shows up in this. I don't really have... Again, a time and a place when I tend to use this. The number one way I use tarot is like, I tend to use decks for specific things, and that's just what they're for. Unless I'm reading for someone else, or like I randomly feel called to it. So my decks, the star. I tend to just like, one day eventually I'll get an idea and it's like, okay, yeah, this is what I use this deck for. And that's just it. And that's just what I do with it. And it stays like that. I have used it before with my No. I've used it before with my Energy Archaeology Oracle, but no, I really don't want to do that. Anyways, so that's my dream visions. I would be interested to hear what types of work y'all use your dream visions for if you have it, and what type of like pairings. Next up we have, well, I have all three. I have all three of the spread crafters. And I've yet to really like use them very much. But again, I love them. And so this is the change one. And so you have, all of them have their own system. And these are really cool cards for like, these feel like cards for creating things, for creative work. The idea, like this feels like cards for shadow work. And I'm sorry, I'm having a thought. The change one specifically feels like cards for healing and deep shadow work, just like it says on the back of the box. I do my shadow work most with the new moon, besides when things like just kind of come up. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm not getting rid of it, but I'm going to put this aside because I want to look at it with a deck that comes out that I'll pull out a bit later. So that's that one. I do have it and I'm keeping it. I also have the Spread Crafters Quest one. This one I'm keeping. This one is like, this feels like a for creating games. And in fact, I've actually ordered a deck. I ordered the Diviner's Definitions deck. I saw it on one of Lisa's things, and I'm so fucking excited. And so I ordered it, and I feel like that will be really cool for like deck creation and character creation. And same with this. And I don't do a lot of character creation, but I love the idea of using these, and I love this, and I'm not getting rid of this. My wife also loves this, so if anything, she would get first dibs, but I love it. And then I do have the big Spread Crafters thing. The idea of the Spread Crafters is literally for building tarot spreads. So these have secret cards. So these are the secret cards. And then these are the focus areas. The problem with this, the only problem with this, is that I am not one to actually... I tend to just like do my readings and stick to the readings that I do. I'm an extremely habitual ritual person. So like they've got secret cards, focus area cards, light work cards. I love this deck. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I am not sure about this deck because I love it, but I don't use tarot in that way. I don't think I want to get rid of it though. I do think I want to talk about it more with my members. So I'm going to tuck that and add that to that pile. Okay. Spread Crafters. That one goes back. Okay. Next up we have my This Might Hurt Tarot. You cannot have it. It is mine. I adore this deck. This deck is amazing. I miss using it. I used to use it a lot more. I used this for my daily cards. And then I stopped using it. I actually might use this for my daily cards again, because what would happen was when I would get a new deck that I was really excited about, it would become my daily card deck. So I switched to using the Tarot Oneness for my daily draws, and then I just have been doing that for over a year. But I also use the Tarot of Oneness for set specific things too. So whereas I don't have a thing I use this for. So I think I'd like to go back to using this for my daily pull. It's not going anywhere. Like, that's just not happening. But I think I'd like to go back to using this. Should I use this for my daily pull? That says no. Daily pull. But so that's my This Might Hurt Tarot. This would be my #1 recommendation for an inclusive, RWS inspired clone kind of deck that's easy. This would be my #1. Okay. Next up, my Ellis Tarot. This, quite honestly, is hands down one of my favorite decks, and yet I don't use it. And I don't quite know why. So, this deck, when I pick up this deck, it literally feels like me. Like, if I were a tarot deck, I think I would be this one. Because when I'm bright and colorful, I'm still weird. And the art style always makes me feel like the 90s. I don't know if that's actually like an accurate inspiration point. It's gamer, but it's not. It's magical, but it's also weird. I don't know how to describe my feelings for this deck. It does have my absolute favorite Wands suit. And my favorite Queen of Wands in the whole wide world. And she is somewhere in here. There she is. I adore this deck. I really don't know what to use it for. I can't see myself ever parting with it, though. So that's my Ellis deck. It is a phenomenal deck. It doesn't have a guidebook, but that's fine. I don't need a guidebook to read cards. But yeah. Anyway. I next have my Pacific Northwest Tarot. I love this deck. It's gorgeous. This has some of the best cardstock and one of my favorite shuffles. This deck is stunning. And it's everything I love in a deck. I love animal, earthy decks. It is so beautiful. I used this for a time with my Songs of the Grandmothers, and it worked phenomenally. I also have another deck that I like to use it with, or that I did like to use it with, but I haven't done in a while. I haven't used this much since like I really liked this. So what happened was, okay, now that I'm done interrupting myself, here's what happened. I got the Songs of the Grandmothers, and I got this, and I started, and this is one of my favorite High Priestess cards. I love this spider. And I started using this deck with that, and I loved it. And then I started using my Songs of the Grandmothers for my Moon Return Oracle, or my Moon Return readings. And my Moon Return, The moon return is when the moon in the sky lines up with where the moon was in the sky when you were born. And so I look at it as a time of realignment, emotional realignment and reconnection. And I love this moon card. And the songs of the grandmothers felt right for using my moon return. And it still does. And I was using this with it. And they go great, like. And then I got the Tarot of Oneness. This isn't going anywhere. But let's just put that aside for a second. So we'll look at the Tarot of Oneness too. The Tarot of Oneness is a fabulous deck. The only thing is weird is like you can really see the wear hasn't been the best, and I don't know how I got all these like little speckles on the cards. They come right off, but I don't know. It kind of looks like the thing you get from erasers, which I don't use erasers a lot with this, or around this. Anyways, the Tarot of Oneness knocked this one out of its place in using my and also too, like the pictures, I don't know if you can see that, but the pictures are fading around the edges from how often I like shuffle and use it. I think you can see that there. Yeah. So like quality control, I have had this for over a year, and I do use it every single day, but the wear and tear is not the best. Because this one's first person, this very quickly became the deck that I want to use when I really want to feel the reading, when I'm really digging into something emotional. Because there's something about it being first person that makes it so, I really don't know why it did this. But you can see there's specks on the front too. There's something about it being first person that makes it, this is one of the worst ones. That makes it really good for me, for emotional readings. This is my monthly card. And so using it with the moon return just made sense. So that's my Tarot of Oneness. This also isn't going anywhere. I'm tempted to get a second copy and like see if that would do it. I'm definitely going to get the mini one. And I'm going to put the mini one at my partner's. Or like I'm going to bring the Tarot of Oneness mini and leave it at my partner's, or just kind of leave it in my purse. As for this specific, I wanted this deck, the Tarot of the Pacific Northwest, or the Pacific Northwest Tarot. I wanted this deck. Also, this is one of my absolute favorite bags in the whole world, that pattern. And I don't know why, but I thought I shouldn't get that deck because I live in the Pacific Northwest. And then I heard about the Seed and Sickle Oracle. I love this deck. I don't use it. I used to. This part gets me every time. 1 to wither, 1 to grow, 1 for the she, and 1 for the crow. I kind of like... So when I saw this, I got those to go together, and I loved it at first. They're not getting used together anymore. So let's hold on for 1 second. The Pacific Northwest Tarot doesn't currently have a job in my collection anymore. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't want to get rid of it. I love the images, but I don't have a place to use it. So, well, I mean, I guess that's pretty much the answer for now. I I do have this thing that happens to me where like I will hold on to a deck for a while and then all of a sudden I will get an idea of how to use it and it'll just pop into my head. Now for this one. Okay. I can tell you right now, this is the Seed and Sickle Oracle. That this one I'm not getting rid of. I don't know its place, but I can feel it. I'm having a thought. Hold on. I do tend to find ways to use my decks more. Oh, sorry about the glare. When I have a pairing. And I did finally get this deck. Even though I haven't really used it. This is my Herb Crafter's Tarot. Not getting the best light. Oh, these are stunning together. There's a specific, it's hard to describe, but there's a specific like quality that goes with things. Oh, both of these decks are the same kind of thing for me. I love them. I don't know how to use them. I don't know what place they fit in my life and in my practice, but I want them to be a part of it. This does not feel like... This doesn't feel like the me I'm not yet. Or like, this doesn't feel like a fantasy version of myself. This feels like a me I just don't fully understand how to work with yet. The tricky thing is, what I've always wanted to do was create a reading based on the bottom, sorry. What I've always wanted to do was create a reading based on the box of the Seed and Sickle, Oracle. One to wither, one to grow, one for the she, and one for the crow. I kind of want to build a reading, but I don't quite understand why. So my Herb Crafter's Tarot, this is staying. I don't really know it very well, but it feels like mine, especially because it is so earthy. And I've definitely learned that I gravitate towards and use a lot of earthy decks. And I'm very excited for the combination, the idea of using these two together. A thing I was sort of saying earlier. So my Herb Crafter's Tarot we're going to keep. And I'm going to put it away. I'll add it to this pile for now. And my Seed and Sickle Oracle, I'm also going to keep and put it away. I can, like, I love it so much. Brain. A thing that, like, a lot of people that I've watched on tarot YouTube do, like, daily readings, and they use different decks depending on the season for their readings. And that's not how I operate. I operate with specific, like, readings, and I always use the same decks, but I only do them for specific, like, triggered times. My Charmcast Tarot. I use this for my daily draws. I pull my daily card, I find the charm, I put it in my necklace. I could literally just pull my daily card from here. It would probably be a lot faster. Should I start doing that? All right. So my Charmcast Tarot, I literally just, normally I shuffle and I pull my daily card and then I find it in here. And that's that. I'm going to try, and I was just talking about using the This Might Hurt Tarot for my daily card. But I guess not. That's fine. I'm going to pull my Charmcast Tarot, and I'm going to try, it sits here on my desk, I'm going to try using that every day, where I literally just pull it out, and that's my daily card. I have my daily readings, which I use specific decks for, which I'll talk about in just a short little bit. We're keeping the Seed and Sickle Oracle. So I have my moon return readings, which I use specific decks for. I have my moon work readings, which I use specific decks for. That's how I operate. And that stuff solidly doesn't change unless I suddenly find something that I like better that kind of advances the practice. And this works really well for me. Anyway, so that's that. The next deck is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So the problem with that kind of way of doing things is that I then have a bunch of decks that, like, until I think of the thing to use them for, I don't use them. My Dreams of Gaia Tarot, I love. I use this working with one of my goddesses. I used to do more with it. I would like to get it back, but this card especially, this imagery. Actually, I should print that up and put that on my wall. That would look much better. I just remembered. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I just remembered I did an art project that I was going to print, but my printer literally ran out of ink. I need to make these bigger so I can see better. And like I made images. I made like art images of / for my goddesses. Sorry, now I have to find them. I found them and I'm downloading them. Great. So I use these to work. I use this deck to talk to my goddess. Which brings me to 2 more decks, actually. The thing is, though I have 2 specific deities I work with, I don't have specific deity practices yet. I do have both the Messenger Oracle and the Seeker Oracle by the same creator. And I adore all of these. I think my main problem with this is that I haven't developed the practice. God. And I don't quite know how the Oracle decks will work long haul. Oh, that's better. I love them. I don't know. I'm unsure about how I want to use the Oracle decks. But this deck, like, looking at it, like, it's kind of cheesy. And I don't, Oh, now I feel unsure. Okay. I feel unsure about these now, which is very confusing for me. Okay. That's the Secret Oracle. And this is the Messenger Oracle. And then so I was so certain about this. But let me see. I absolutely adore the artwork in this, and I wanted this for so long before I finally got it. But I might have another deck. Use this deck with you. Okay, I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to add them to the pile of things I want to look at more deeply to determine, and go from there. And I'm going to specifically like see if I can like commune and whatnot. I'm going to see if I can look at it and commune and see what direction I'm going in with that, because I might be going in a new direction. Next up, I have this version of the Gentle Tarot. I do also have this version of the Gentle Tarot. And I also have the first edition full-size version of the Gentle Tarot. That deck is not here. That deck is in my drawer at my partner's house, because I needed to have an emergency tarot deck there just in case. And I ended up going with the Gentle Tarot because, like, of the copies of the Gentle Tarot, this is the one I use. I don't tend to use this one. I love it. Am I going to get rid of it? Fuck no. I also, though, this deck and I have, we're just going to flip through both sizes. I have the extended guidebook, and I'm waiting for the Oracle deck to launch on Kickstarter. I don't know if I'm going to get the Gentle Tarot in the newer edition. I might, because I just adore, this is by Maritza Rice Apprecio Tovar. If I'm saying that incorrectly, please forgive me. Please also feel free to, like, let me know how to pronounce it. But this deck is so important to me. I cannot wait. They've officially announced they're coming out with a Oracle deck called My Friend Fire. I cannot wait for that to launch, and they're planning to do like a whole series of all the elements, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. This is the linen edition. I literally might just collect them all. I do use the linen edition the most for like shuffling and readings, and I use my Gentle Tarot for my weekly check-in readings. Also, though, I've used this in a lot of different ways, and this feels like, it feels both like my ancestors speaking to me and like a voice from deep within the earth is reaching out to speak for me, or to speak to me. And I love both of those things. So this deck and I are on a lifelong journey, and it is growing and developing, and I adore this deck. So that's my Gentle Tarots. Like I said, I do have the big one, the first edition full size. And that's staying. Okay. Put that over there. All right. We already talked about the Tarot of Oneness. And now we are up to my Starseeker. This is my Oracle. Got this on Kickstarter. I had to get it. It is absolutely beautiful. I adore this deck. I use this deck for the new moon. It is admittedly a harder way to use this deck because of the fact that I struggle more figuring out how to do the new moon stuff. Which, that actually brings me back. That's right. That's why I tucked this aside. Okay. So I'm working on this whole big reading thing. But the basis of it is that I have my year ahead spread is stuff I do with the sun. Like I'm following the sun season. That's sun work. And oh, it's silver and purple. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. And then, oh, excuse me. And then I got this, and this has really started to develop my moon work. And I'm here for it. Moon work has always been something harder for me to do. I think because it's so changing and fast that it's just kind of hard for me to keep track of. But the new moon specifically, I think, is supposed to be for shadow work. So what I was thinking was like using this deck with this when it comes time to do my new moon work specifically. I use a different deck for the full moon, and I have a process that I like to use for this. And then clearing with stereotype, bypassing. Ooh, okay. I really like this. My thinking is, okay, this is an involved thing. I put the change oracle aside to see if I wanted to explore using it with this for the new moon. I do, is the moral of the story. So this I'm going to put away. And the new moon was actually last week. It was a week ago. And my new moon reading kind of didn't work super well. So I'm going to use this and see what I come up with. But I adore this. My absolute favorite card. Let's see if I can find my absolute favorite card. So this is really cool too. The structure in it, like the first 48 cards are like the Seeker's Journey, where you have the cycle of life, open to receive, alone, comfort. It's a beautiful. And then there's 12 guide cards where you get like the student, the healer. And then there's 4 gift cards, and the gift cards have this shiny border. So this border is the cycle of life. The plain purple border is the guides, and then the shiny one is the 4 gifts. And then because I got this on Kickstarter, there is affirmation cards, which I did leave in. I don't tend to pull out my extra cards. And one of my absolute favorite cards, one of my favorite images ever in a deck, but definitely in this deck, my favorite image, I missed it, hold on, is, normally I can find it super easy and quick because I love it so much. This. Is that not stunning? That's definitely inner peace to me. Anyways, that's my Starseeker Oracle. I'm obsessed. I love it. I use it with moon work. I'm gonna use it with I'm going to at least try using it with the Spread Crafters Change to actually develop that part of my practice more, which is very exciting because that part of my practice has always been harder for me to figure out. So that can go back up. And then I have my Starseeker Tarot by the same creator, which I've talked about a ton. I still use it a ton. It's holding up pretty well. It's quite nicely broken in. I am very glad that they didn't go, when they created the Starseeker Oracle, that they went with the less rose petally cardstock, because this does stick, albeit it has gotten better. And this is my most broken in deck because it's my most used deck. And it's quite lovely to feel what people talk about when they say a deck is broken in. I adore this deck. If I could only have one tarot deck, perish the thought, I hate it, but if I could only have one, it would be this. So very much. I use it. I've used it for 2 full years now. I'm in year 3 of using it for myself and for multiple clients every single month, and I adore it. I never get sick of it. The guidebook is phenomenal. Has been mind-opening, eye-opening on several cards. I adore this deck, my Starseeker Tarot. And then the last one in this row is my Energy Archaeology Oracle. This is another deck that I adore. I adore this thing so damn much. This is one of, if I could only have one Oracle deck, I would, oh, I hate that question. If I could have 2, I would pick my Starseeker in this. This deck is so rich and so powerful. And I adore it so much. I don't even really know what to say, except like this image haunts me. Because it's just, this deck is so powerful. I love it. I use this for my full moon work, and I really am loving that. It feels right to use a deck that's connected to bones for the full moon. And the guidebook in it is really good. And each card comes with some questions. So I use those questions to do a reading for the full moon. And it's getting close to time for my next one. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have my Wildwood Tarot. I love this deck. I use this deck a lot. I'm now using this in conjunction with my Seasons of the Witch Oracle decks, depending on the season, with my daily readings. I actually haven't done today's because I was very tired and out of it and then busy and I forgot. So I'll probably do that a bit later. But my Wildwood Tarot, I love it. It is very... This is a really good deck. I'm really enjoying using it. It's one of my favorite sun cards. The Sun of Life and Moon on the Water. I adore it. And this deck feels very spiritual to me. I got this bag from a friend, an old friend, who they painted it. So that's that. That stays, no doubt about it. There's not much in this area that I'm going to be getting rid of, so it's just me gushing about decks I love. Including my Boo Tarot. I will admit, this was the most disappointing deck experience because of the cardstock. I've talked about how much I hate the cardstock. That is still true. I still do not really use this because of the cardstock, which makes me very sad because I adore this. So, If ever, Celia Melsville, you're watching this, please redo this on better cardstock. If ever anyone finds out that this comes out on better cardstock, please tell me. I love this deck. I would like to use it, but the cardstock is truly just... I hate it. It doesn't... like... There's nothing to it, so it just... I mean, I could just hand over hand this, and I have used it before. And it's great to read with. And it's cute, and I'm never going to get rid of it. But I'm really quite sad that the cardstock is as bad as it is. So, you know, it is what it is. But that's my Boo Tarot. Okay. Next up, we have another deck that outgrew its initial purpose. Or I outgrew its initial purpose. No, I didn't outgrow its initial purpose. This deck. This is my Cosmovisions Oracle. It's technically a tarot deck, except it's built slightly... It's tarot restructured into like an oracle. Oh... I love this deck. I don't know what to do with it. I used this for a long time with I used this for a long time with ancestor work. I haven't used it in a long time. And I was hoping it would be a deck I used last year during my death card year, but that didn't happen. I love this deck. It's so weird and cool, and I love it, and I don't know how I want to use it. I'm not ready to give it up. I would like to get to know it and figure out how I might use it, but I feel like I need to get to know it more. I need a way to get to know my decks that I want. And I want the Endless Oracle to go with this. As soon as I saw the Endless Oracle. And maybe that's why I haven't done anything. Because I want the Endless Oracle to go with this. The Endless Oracle is perfect for this. So maybe that's why I haven't actually like done anything, because now I know what oracle I want to use it for, use with it, but I don't have that oracle deck. If you have a copy of the Endless Oracle and you do not want it anymore, and you want to trade for something from my decluttering list, which is like, check out part 1, or you are just like willing to sell it, let me know. Send me an email. Because I really do want the Endless Oracle. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to work with it with this. So I guess I'll see those together and then determine how I might work with those. The next deck, though, I have is my Forest of Enchantment Tarot. There's the backs and the fronts. Oh, I love this deck. I haven't really used it though, but I really do love it. I don't know how to use it. I'm running out of steam though. So I think we're going to call this here. And we're going to do a part 3. Because I'm just really running out of steam and I don't really want to do filming anymore. So that's my Forest of Enchantment tarot. I love it. It's not going anywhere. I would like to know how to use it, but I don't really have a place to use it yet. I'm sure I'll figure something out one day. I do also like... And this bag was made by Krista. But yeah, so I'm sure I'll figure something out one day. Should I just finish the decks I have here? Yeah, let's just finish the decks we have here. Okay, so I have the Entanglement Tarot. I haven't actually used this. I think I want to use this in some sort of like spell work. Some of it's upside down. It's hard to get them all upright. I think I want to use this in some kind of like spell work, but I'm not sure what. And like, I may not be one for like gritting crystals, but the idea, oh wait, hold on. I have an idea. Entanglement Tarot. Elemental Web. Like, what if I did a reading where it was like, okay, so hold on, where's... What if I did a reading where it's like a major in the middle and then... Or a card in the middle and then one of each of the suits around the outside. I do like how small that is. I have an idea I'm going to explore with this. But that requires a lot of work because it requires me like organizing this deck, in like putting it in order and then looking at it and stuff. So that's my Entanglement Tarot. I'm keeping it. I'm not willing to get rid of it yet. I don't think I would, but certainly not right now. Next up, Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. I got this. I grabbed this to be my Chicoli tarot. To me, this feels very similar to the art style of the Nicoletta Chicoli. I don't know that I care to keep it. This was edged by the person I got it from. I don't know that I would ever reach for this over something else. So I think this can go, actually. Yeah, that feels pretty good. So that can go. Okay. I really need to stop saying I will never ever get a deck, because that inevitably means I will buy it. I did it with the Wildwood and the Marielle, which I do miss and want back, and the Somnia Tarot. This The energy of this deck is off the fucking charts. I feel this so strongly. And I'm wondering, I'm not getting rid of this. If maybe this is the upgrade from working with my deity. If I'm going to talk to my deity, if she wants me to use this deck instead. It does feel like one that she would use. It is so potent. This deck is just... I don't have any words. It's the Somnia Tarot, but it is so good. Do you want me to use this deck? Do you want me to use the Dream Sky? Do you want me to use the deck? This is so good. I don't quite know what this is for. Like, I have an idea, but I haven't been able to make myself actually try that idea. So it is what it is, but that's the Somnia Tarot. I also have the Roots and Wings Oracle now in a tin. I adore this deck. This is so cute and so good. I haven't used it a ton. I've had some very good readings with it though. I feel like I'll probably use this maybe outside once it's warmer. I know that I like to use it with the next deck, which is my Luminous Void Tarot. Oh God, this deck. Talk about a fiery deck. This is a fiery deck. And I like to do these two together. Fire, Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands. Void between strength and justice. There's something, the artwork has a similar like coloration quality that makes me think of using these two together. And I absolutely love using these together. And I haven't used them a ton, but they're really wonderful. They're very wonderful. So that's my Roots and Wings. And my Illuminated, or my Luminous Void. Do you want me to use this? I don't use them a lot. I don't really know like what occasions I like to use them for yet, but I love them together. We shall see. Okay, so over here, the only other decks I have left in like this area, and then there's a shelf behind me, is I have my Whispering Spirits Oracle. So this was my copy that I edged. I gave it to my sibling, and they did give it back to me. I missed it. I don't use it yet. I love it though. It is so fucking cute. I wonder if I want to use it. I love this deck. It's just very cute. So I do have the Whispering Spirits tarot deck. I don't have the Mons tarot deck. I have the Whispering Spirits one. I do have the Cosmo Beings, which I want to edge red, but I have yet to actually do that. I love this one too. I love this. It's very, very cute, and it's very, very me, and I very, very love it. So I do have the Cosmo Beings. This is not going anywhere either. And then the last three are my little triplicate. None of these are going anywhere. I use these with my weekly readings. I really like grounding myself each week. I use these in my week ahead. So I do 2 parts to my weekly readings now. I do the part where I use the Gentle Tarot, and I like look back on the week and see how I'm doing and do like a reflection, mental health check-in kind of vibe. And then I pull these along with my Shadow and Light card to see what's coming in the week ahead. And I really like using an animal, a crystal, and a herb each week to see what's coming in the week ahead. So that's how I use these. And that's the last 3. This one is the herbiary. And I do have the big books for all 3 of them. This one is the crystallary. And this one is the bestiary. That's it for my decks on this part of my collection. Only one got added to the pile of decks to get rid of. So our total to get rid of is still 19, because I had one that I took and added to my pile of like look at more closely, and then I added one to get rid of. My pile that I'm looking at more closely with my members is now at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my pile to keep is a lot larger, because I had 9 and now it's more. So I will give you a final total of a final tally of what I'm keeping when we finish part 3. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can find your way back nice and easily. And I will see you for part 3 very soon. Lots of love. Bye.